Twilight Princess was released along with the Nintendo Wii in 2006. Even though it was a release title for the new console, it was also released on the Nintendo GameCube, the previous one. This version, however, is entirely mirrored in comparison to the Wii version. They probably did this because the majority of Wii users are right-handed, while Link himself is left-handed, even though mirroring the entire game for that purpose only would be a little overkill. This time we're showing the differences between the normal playthrough and the route a speedrunner takes in order to complete the Forest Temple. The temple that was obviously designed for people with arachnophobia. No, for real though, when I was a kid I was extremely scared for that temple. Please keep in mind that we're using the GameCube version in this video, as a few bugs are fixed on the Wii release, rendering it the inferior one by far. We start the temple with the slingshot that we equip in order to get rid of the Walchulas that crawl on the vines. However, these are easily dealt with using said item, which doesn't apply to the bigger Skulltula that awaits us in the next room. We attack its head a couple of times and then use the ending blow in order to finish it off effectively. Getting rid of the spider now allows us to light the 4 torches, which raises the stairs to the outside, where the Gale Boomerang awaits us if we collect 4 monkeys. As we can't go there yet, we head to the door on the right, where we then head to the right again, burn the web, and get to a new room with a Deku Baba and another Skulltula waiting for us. We jump over the platforms and reach the first room outside, which introduces us to the wind mechanic of the temple. We wait for the platform to turn and get to the next room where we find a small key. Then we head back to the previous room and unlock the room on the left, where there is another monkey waiting. Here we then head down, roll into the pillar to destroy the cage, and defeat the moblins in order to get back up and into the temple. We now head to the main room, go to the other side and enter. Here we go up the stairs and use the bombling to blow up the flower that was blocking the way, and then blow up a blocked passage. In the next room we see another one of our monkey friends being locked up and waiting for us to rescue him. We roll into one of the pillars, get the key, light the torches and free him after defeating another Skulltula. Here we then use the vines on the left and can just pass the tile worm that lurks underground. Back in the previous room we head to the right, climb the vines and enter the room where another big Baba awaits us. We get rid of it, use another bombling to get rid of the flower, and free another key in order for us to save the 4th monkey. After some backtracking, they lead us all the way back to the broken bridge outside, where the Gale Boomerang awaits us. This mini-boss fight is pretty straightforward, and it all depends on your rolling skills, so we're not really gonna talk about it in detail.
For this run, we'll be using the footage of the All Dungeons category by Adam, the current world record holder of this, and the any % run of the game. The run starts off with freeing the monkey with a quick spin, and then getting rid of the spiders on the vine with Deku Nuts. We then get greeted by the Skulltula, which we just ignore as it isn't too dangerous anyways, and start lighting the torches with our lamp, as this will raise the stairs for us to get out. As we go through the door straight ahead, a couple of monkeys suddenly show up. So let's explain that in detail for a moment. The amount of monkeys is determined by a value that is also used to determine whether a skippable cutscene was actually skipped. While this is not an issue normally, this can be abused by skipping a cutscene and soft resetting the game immediately after. The system will set the value to a very high number and count down rapidly in order to confirm that only this cutscene was skipped. If we now interrupt this procedure, we can abuse it to change our monkey counter to a very high number, which will then max out at 4 monkeys, as this is the maximum amount the game will give us at this point. So before the runner enters the temple, he heads back to the bridge and performs a trick called Back in Time. He forces the game to reset in the same frame it tries to void out Link. This allows him to now be able to play on the save file, which is used for the title screen. While this trick is used several times in order to get the Iron Boots early or get the Hylian Shield early, we can also use this file by saving. If we do this and reload the file, we spawn in the King Bulbin fight, which has a skippable cutscene. We skip it and perform a soft reset right away in order to keep the skip check in our memory, which will ultimately correspond to the amount of monkeys we have. So after this extremely long explanation, we can finally proceed and skip quite a big chunk of the temple. Doing so allows us to get to the mini-boss fight right away, which hardly seems like a fight at all. We start off the normal way, wait for him to top one of the poles, and then roll into the pole to make him hit himself. After he fell down, we jump slash him, followed by a quick spin and a normal slash, which depletes all his health, resulting in a really quick fight.
After obtaining the Gale Boomerang and getting introduced to its mechanics, we head outside where 2 bridges await us that we can manipulate using our new item. Here another monkey awaits us. We free it by using the boomerang and head back to the main room where we can take the door on the right again. We head to the right once more, get over the platforms and pass by the first door that we unlocked, in order to get to the boomerang puzzle that keeps the big key locked away. Using the pattern that is shown on the floor and triggering the windmills in this order, finally opens the gate, where we then find the big key. We go back outside and use the boomerang to manipulate the movement of the platforms in order to get to the other side, just like we did before. In the next room, we turn the bridge using the boomerang once more, step on it, and turn it again with ourselves on it, which ultimately links 2 rooms that were previously inaccessible. Unfortunately, we drew the attention of a few bokoblins, which we deal with before we enter the door that is not locked. In here, we deal with the sculptulas, then use the lamp to burn the webs on the ground, and get ourselves onto the platform where monkey number 6 is waiting for his rescue. We head back onto the platform and turn it where we can now head into the room leading to the boss of the dungeon. But unfortunately, we still don't have enough monkeys. We head to the left, solve a small puzzle bridge, deal with the bokoblin and the skull waltulas, and then climb the vines. Then we drop down, get rid of a few more skull waltulas, and climb to the top, where we have to defeat another bokoblin. In here, 2 Deku Babas and a boomerang puzzle involving a flower and a bombling awaits us. Both are fairly easy to deal with, which rewards us with a small key. After collecting it, we use the bombling again to blow up the rock blocking the vines, deal with 1 more bokoblin, and then use another bombling to free monkey number 7. We now go back to the main room and all the way to the last locked door we have spotted. In this room, we deal with a few tile worms and a skulltula before we're able to climb vines and free the last required monkey for us to reach the boss. The fight is quite straightforward. You have to use bomblings and the Gale Boomerang to take the huge plant down and hit it with your sword. We're not really going into detail because we already covered a lot in this video.
From here on, there isn't too much to do anymore. We save the game and reset in order to spawn at the entrance again, where we then climb the vines again and head to the right. Here we head to the right again, burn the web and perform a precise jump onto the fence, from where we then jump onto a platform which is close to the puzzle that allows us to open the chest with a big key. From here we head straight forward, then to the left, ignore the spider and take the door. We now proceed to the next room using the boomerang and move to the last room in which some of the monkeys are waiting for us. But there are only 4 monkeys waiting for us, instead of 8. This happens because we didn't have any temple progress, so the game corrected the amount of monkeys we have to the maximum amount we're supposed to have before reaching the Gale Boomerang, which is 4 and not 8. Luckily, there's a glitch on the GameCube version which allows us to bypass the other 4 monkeys. We throw the boomerang over to the monkeys and wait for it to hover over the void. If we now jump slash, Link will take a huge leap forward, which is enough to just jump on the platforms the monkey themselves are standing on. We can do this once more and reach the boss without even having to free the other monkeys. This trick does technically work on the Wii version as well, but it's only possible using monsters on that version and not by using the Gale Boomerang. Here we finally face Diababa, the boss of the forest temple that hides itself at first. The fight is over fairly quick though if we use the right techniques. We start the fight by using the boomerang in order to get the first bombling into one of the Baba's mouth. Then we use it again, but get 2 bomblings to ourselves, which we are now gonna stall over the entirety of the fight while we throw the boomerang again in order to get the second Baba down using another bombling. The actual boss shows itself, and we position the bomblings in a way that one of the bomblings is used in order to stun Diababa, while the second one is being stalled so we can use it for a second stun on the boss. Diababa goes down and we can attack its weak point using a quick spin in order to deal a proper amount of damage at the beginning of the fight. We then follow up, aiming for its head once again, using the boomerang and the bombling to hit it as soon as possible, going for a quick second stun. Once we got that stun, we charge up another quick spin, which is then sure to kill Diababa, rendering Ook, the previous mini-boss who's meant to help us in the fight, fairly useless. We grab our well-deserved heart container and continue our journey. Thank you for watching this week's video! As always, click things! Big things, small things, Twitch things, YouTube things. I don't need to go on, do I?